should we start with the Alien Earth teaser? Because we're big Alien fans. I think that would be... It'd be nice to dig in.
Yeah.
So, of course, the teaser is kind of like a POV from a facehugger of like a ship crashing towards Earth. Not really too much to go on, but it's nice that they're starting to drum up the promotions for it. We had like a minor... I don't know if you saw this, Charlie. We had like a minor sizzle. It was like 3 shots. It was like the lead woman... like a shot of someone like in the water, like a bit Covenant-esque, and then I think there was another shot. But it was just like machinery. It was like it was part of like a Hulu sizzle at the end of last year. So it wasn't like an actual trailer for Alien. It was just like part of like when they like tease loads of different shows.
Yeah.
So we've had like a minuscule amount of footage, and then there was before that, I think a year ago now, there was the teaser that was just like the alien like hissing, and in the reflection of its head.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
So we haven't really had proper stuff to go off yet. But we do know Noah Hawley is the showrunner. Of course, Fargo, Legion. So not only has he created some great stuff, he's also dabbled in science fiction and done very well with that. He knows what he's doing, safe to say. I think he's the biggest draw for me in terms of the whole thing, is knowing that he's on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of the teaser?
I mean, I think, like you said, there's not much given away. It's just basically just seeing iconography of Alien that we've seen before, other than Earth. I mean, apart from is it the end of 4? We see a little bit of Earth at the end.
Well, like the whole Ripley saga, even though she dies in his clone, spoiler alert.
What did you do?
I died.
It's basically her doing the long way round to get back to Earth.
Yeah.
So Resurrection, I think it's one of the alternate endings. They actually go through the atmosphere and you see Earth in its like ruins.
Yes.
As Ron Perlman says, Earth man, what a shithole.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yeah.
But I must admit, it's always been kind of like the thing with the Alien franchise. Like, we're never going to take it to Earth, and of course, in Alien vs Predator 2, we did it in like modern Earth. But that's kind of like a non-canon kind of side spin-off thing to it. But speaking of non-canon, I think this is interesting, is that there's a bit of confusion at the moment about whether or not it's going to contradict the Ridley Scott prequel films, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, because there's been reports that it's going to be set 2 years before the first Alien.
Yep.
And Noah Hawley has actually said that he doesn't really enjoy that Prometheus and Covenant try to explain the origins of the Xenomorph. And he said before that he's going to like ignore all that stuff. Ignoring it, for me, is fine. What bothers me and potentially worries me about this is if you said it 2 years before Prometheus, that directly contradicts Prometheus and Alien Covenant and the story of David, who, as I'm sure you'll agree, one of the best characters of the franchise.
100%.
I know a lot of people don't like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and I've had this in comments on like my Alien Romulus review. A lot of people don't like the idea that David creates the Xenomorphs. A lot of people have been, drinking some copium, I've got to say, and say that he just found the formula for like a Xenomorph and they existed before. And I'm like, no, the movie clearly states he's the father of the Xenomorph, and I think that's got meaning. That's like one of the best things about the film.
No one understands the lonely perfection of my dreams.
And what do you believe in, David? Creation.
Yeah.
Fantastic. A thematically rich film, highly underrated in my opinion.
100%. I love that the humans create their own demise in it, and they create the evilest. They create something that creates the most terrifying thing in the universe.
You think it comes from the engineers, but it actually takes something that is beyond human in a synth, who is kind of devalued by humanity, to create what he thinks is the perfect organism, unburdened by morality and by the corruption of humanity and the engineers. Yeah. I think it's a fantastic film, and I would be very hurt if this is trying to propagate that is non-canon, essentially. Because to me, if you're going to try and contradict it, it ain't Covenant that's non-canon, it's your show that's non-canon.
Exactly. Especially the fact that, you're already TV. You're already in the TV. We've had many shows in TV and series come and go. Sarah Connor Chronicles. That's really hard to say, actually.
Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Sarah Connor Chronicles. That's it. Sarah Connor. That's it. Be an example. So you better not step on the toes. I also think as well that like if you're, I just feel like if you're going to do a show or a prequel show, whatever, like a show on Earth, there's just no need to even just set it near. Like I feel like you're going out your way to like be like, oh fuck these prequels, whereas like you don't need to do that. Do you know what I mean?
It's one of those things with Alien. Like with Romulus, obviously it connects a little bit to the first Alien. But it could have taken place really any time period after the first movie. It's new characters. So if this is new characters and it's off somewhere else in the galaxy, why does it need to contradict anything? Like Aliens Fireteam, the video game that we've played to death. Nothing in that contradicts anything. It doesn't suddenly make Prometheus non-canon or anything like that. So I just think it's weird, especially when I think Alien's in a really good spot at the moment with Romulus and having a Romulus sequel and then potentially having this show and then Ridley Scott even saying maybe we could get Covenant 2 or maybe we could see David again. There's even rumours of like a new, that Ripley project that was dead for a bit, that could be revived. So I think we're in a really good place with Alien. I don't want these different projects to contradict the other or overshadow the other. Like, this Alien Earth thing, I could be, even though it's TV and I don't necessarily think it's a TV property, I'm more than willing to be wowed by it.
Same.
And I think Noah Hawley's a great writer, and I think you could do Aliens on a TV budget, but I just hope that it's false that it's set before.
Well, this is the thing. I was like, Penguin, when it got announced, we was like, what a stupid idea. Who wants to see a mini-series about the Penguin? You know what I mean? We watched the Penguin. It's incredible. It might even be better than the Batman. You know what I mean? It's brilliant, right? It just goes to show at the end of the day, it doesn't. None of this matters if it's good.
Yeah.
So that's all we want. Just something good in the Alien universe. Like you said, it doesn't need to dabble in. I mean, I don't mind it trying to create its own little, hints of, lore or whatever it wants to do, but just don't cross over. You don't need to. Like you said, Romulus. I think Romulus even kind of hints at the Prometheus stuff to some degree with the
because they've got the Prometheus goo in it, haven't they?
Yeah. So
that's the thing. I just we don't need to write over anything apart from Alien 3 where Ripley dies. If you want to write over anything,
I agree.
write over that.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
But even then, I'd kind of be like, but then we lose Resurrection. Another criminally underrated Alien movie.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
There's not really, outside of Alien vs Predator 2, I would argue, a truly bad Alien movie.
No.
Even Alien vs Predator has got some fun to it. Alien vs Predator 2 is dog shit, and that's the only one I really think is truly dog shit. Everyone else... There's something.
They've got a scene or a beat or a moment or an idea that's worth it. I agree, and you were saying a minute ago about it sort of being in a good spot. I actually think the fact that not only is Alien in a good spot, but the fact that Predator's in a good spot is also just going to help Alien, weirdly.
Yeah.
Especially they got projects where, didn't they talk about possibly doing a crossover, or they would like to?
I think there's talk that it could happen again in the future. Like I've seen people like Shane Black say, like, I don't think it's necessarily dead. And I don't think on the face of it an Alien vs Predator movie is a bad idea. I just think they've been poorly adapted. I think the biggest problem is setting it on modern day Earth. Like Predator might work in modern day Earth. I don't think Alien works in modern day Earth at all.
No.
And what's interesting is now this Badlands film coming out in November is going to be set in a future in Earth with the Predator being the main character. That sounds so interesting.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think both franchises are in a great spot. If they announced Colonial Marines are going to fight aliens and predators in another movie, and that's separate to Romulus 2, Covenant 2, Alien Earth, season whatever, I'll be all for it.
Exactly.
I'll be all for it. If you're listening to this full fat podcast cut down, then please subscribe, turn the notification bell on, like this video, leave a comment what you thought below, and catch us next time.